Well, this episode has a cold open. You weren't expecting that, were you? Where's the theme? What's going on? This isn't what I'm here for. We have got before this episode, we've got an important announcement to what we're doing kind of with the channel and the format of this going forward. Jord, you're the architect of this. It's your show, mate. Let's what's going on?
Yeah, so the podcast that you're about to watch was filmed over a week ago, and we have now moved our main platform over to being Twitch for this podcast. You will still be able to get all of the lovely pod goodness that you've been getting in previous weeks on
Lovely
the
pod
channel.
goodness.
Absolutely lovely pod goodness. But now, if you want to see, bits of behind the scenes, you want to interact with us. As you guys know, we do a bit up front. We have a little break, and then we do the bit at the back end. Don't clip that. But now on Twitch, what we do up front, we do a bit of pre-game, which we always do behind the scenes. But now you can check it out live. Burp.
Solidarity.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Now I'm going to leave it in.
Basically.
During our break, we chat some shit. We'll interact with chat. And then at the end, we'll stick around. We'll maybe we did a Marvel quiz this week. We did a few the hardest Marvel quizzes you'll ever do. Next week, maybe we'll play a bit of fucking games.
Maybe, potentially, yes. It's all go. Anything could happen, and you'll be able to catch us a week early if you follow us on twitch.tv/Mukkapod.
And you can always go and watch the VOD if you really want to, but it's probably not going to be as interesting as actually being there and actually interacting with us. So come along, guys. Anyway, enjoy.
Absolutely. Roll the new theme!
Oh, new theme. Let's go.
Let's go!
1, 2, 3, 4. Gaming, movies, anime, Mukkapod with Jord and Jay. Tons of freaky, geeky shit. Mukkapod, it.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another episode of Mukkapod, the weekly geek culture podcast that brings you everything that you need to know in the world of geek culture and fandom, served with a hefty side of top drawer British banter. Whether it's gaming, comics, movie, TV or animes, you name it, we've got it, and if we ain't got it, you don't fucking need it. Yeah, I am your host, Jamie, and I'm not alone. With me, as always, is my co-host, Jord. How are you, mate? How's it going?
I'm all right, mate. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling good about myself because I didn't stumble during the intro, and sometimes I do, but that was pretty fucking smooth, man. I was happy with that.
You smashed it, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much, man. How was your week? You all good?
No, it was really shit, but I don't want to talk about it.
That's fine. Yeah. I was all right. I went to London this week. I had a nose around Camden Market, which was fairly cool. It's a big place, man. It's hard to see everything in London in like just one day or a couple of days. It's like a big city. Like I spent a lot of time in like Birmingham, obviously with yourself, and then in Bristol now, and it's just that they're quite big cities, but it doesn't compare to London. You can
I don't think Birmingham is a big city, personally.
No.
You can walk from essentially one side of Birmingham to the other in 20 minutes at most.
No, absolutely.
I really don't think Birmingham's big, but yeah.
Like top end of Birmingham to like Digbeth way, it takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
And once you've done that, there's nothing else to fucking see. So don't go anywhere else because you'll regret it.
You can do it all. You can do Birmingham in an afternoon. I don't think you could do London in a week. Yeah, it's a big fucking place, and even Camden's got like an extensive market that I just spent all day in, and we still weren't done by the time we had to come away. But no, it's a fantastic city. It's a fantastic experience. I recommend London to anyone. Kind of thing. So,
okay, fair
yeah,
enough.
man. Yeah, all right. So, Jord, we're going to do something a little bit different this week.
Oh, before we get to that, I just wanted to make you a little bit jealous.
Go on.
So it's my mother's birthday in a couple of weeks.
Happy birthday.
To my mum, not to me. It's not born on the
not
same
to
day.
you.
That's not how family works.
You don't get to fucking take credit for this. It's like, stay in your lane, man. We're going to happy birthday, Mama. Mama Jord.
But my mother is a big fan of Friends, as am I, as are you. And
yes.
For her birthday, I have bought us both tickets to go to Friends Fest.
Oh, she's going to love that, mate.
She is. So for anyone who doesn't know, that's where you go and visit the set, get a tour.
It's like
it travels
Comic-Con for
around.
Friends fans, isn't it?
Yeah, essentially. It travels around. You have to book. It's get tickets, shit. But I am excited. I will report back my findings. It's not until the end of August, but I just wanted to make you jealous now because I've already booked it.
No,
so.
no, I'm like 60% happy and only 40% jealous, so that didn't really land if that's what you were going for. But where is it? What kind of? What part
it
of the
travels. It's in Bristol. It's in Milton Keynes. It's in Manchester.
Are you coming to the one in Bristol?
So, because of having a job and all that stupid shit.
Oh god. Oh yeah.
I needed to book a weekend. So I went to Bristol. Bristol was the first place I looked, mate. Of course it was. Cause I thought two birds, one stone.
Of course. You're only human, aren't you?
Exactly. I can't resist. Can't resist a bit of J. But unfortunately, all of the weekends were fully booked out. And that goes for everywhere, including Milton Keynes. However, they didn't indicate that on the 30th of August it's a bank holiday anywhere on the website. Right. So that was like empty, essentially, compared to the weekends. So
happy days.
Got a bit lucky there that they hadn't pointed that out, or their calendar when you select the days didn't point it out or anything.
Oh, that's lucky. You don't need to take any fucking leave or anything then.
No, spot on.
All good, man. Brilliant stuff. Well, I hope you and your mum have a great time, and yes, definitely report back and send me tons of videos and pics, man, because I am. The more I think about it, the more jealous I am. To be fair.
But it is in Bristol. If you want to, you could take an afternoon off and pop down with Kira.
I'm pretty sure Kira's mentioned it to me actually, so maybe I'll take a look into that. Yeah. Do you know what? I will. Thanks for the inspiration, mate.
It's all right.
Jord, we're going to do things a little bit different this week, and if this is somebody's first episode, it might be a little bit jarring to them, because the way that we usually run it down is we do a bit of news, and then we talk about what trailers have been out, and then we have a main topic, and then we kind of go into like our little chat at the end. Right? We ain't going to do that this week. This is the first in an ongoing series called Why We Love, and all we're going to do this week, after we've talked about a few trailers up top, is talk about one franchise that we love entirely, and this week it is One Punch Man. So that is going to be the way it goes down this week. So it's not too different, but it's different enough that it's worth mentioning. So yeah. I'm just looking at your face, man. You look ready to go. Right, so the first segment today, which is weird that it's the first segment, is a segment we like to call Sad as a Pound or Down on the Ground, and this is how it works. We've got some trailers that have come out this week, and me and Jord have watched them. We're going to go through them and tell you whether we think it's Sound as a Pound or Down on the Ground. So, which one do you want to do first, mate? Should we do Suicide Squad first? This is trailer
sure, because you've mentioned it, let's jump in.
Yep, trailer number 2 of the James Gunn Suicide Squad.
So if you haven't watched the first trailer, don't bother, just watch this. It's 50 times better.
100%, 100%.
It's so much better.
I agree with you when you said, I was more excited to see the movie before I saw that last trailer. And I didn't really think it had much of its own identity. I thought it was very much Guardians of the Galaxy with a DC skin. This trailer is a lot better.
Yeah, so it's a bit more. It's a way better way to introduce this film, I think. We see
definitely.
Like snippets of each character, especially Idris Elba's character.
Big focus on Idris Elba, yeah.
John Cena's character delivers a kind of stupid line that's a bit too stupid for me. But
what is that about the chocolate starfish?
Yeah, of course he's not related to a butthole, mate. Fuck off. Really bad joke. And this is coming from someone who makes really, really bad jokes, but that was just no.
On the regs, but you're not paid millions of dollars to do it. Do you know what I mean? If you were getting paid to make jokes, I would tell you to up your game.
Yeah, exactly.
On the butthole and poop jokes.
But I ain't.
You're not, though. It's not your profession. It's not what you do, geese. Yeah, big focus on Idris Elba. In prison for putting Superman in intensive care with a kryptonite bullet. Interesting line. I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's because
I think some people had an issue with that on the internet, but fuck off, it's a film. So
yeah, it's a film. It just be like that.
These are the same people that are like, I know Goku could beat up Superman. Like they,
Yeah. Oh, we'll get into that later with our topic.
We will, yes.
Hey. No, I like the humour with the weasel character that's seen in the plane or the helicopter or whatever they're in.
I do like the line about him killing like 27 kids or something.
Yeah, he's harmless. Well, he's not. He's killed 27 kids, but that's...
Yeah, that's good. That's a good line.
So good. Yeah, I still think I'm going to like King Shark as well. Like
think
he's
you
less
will.
in this trailer, but he's in at the end. But I still think I'm gonna quite like it. Yeah, good trailer. Good trailer. The film could go either way because the first trailer was really bad, and this trailer's quite a lot better, but still not.
Yeah, I do
Amazing.
think we're in the minority in thinking that the first trailer's bad. I saw it getting a lot of praise online, but I really do think it was dreadful. For a production of this scale and this sort of hype. Yeah, I thought it was really bad. So I was really happy to see this. I am so excited for this film now after this. I'm fully on board, so I'm obviously going to give it sound as a pound.
When does it sound as a pound? I'll give it sound as a pound as well. When does it come out? It's like August time, right? Or
I don't know.
yeah, I'm not sure either. I should really have
Some
written that
point
down, shouldn't I?
between now and 2025, I'd imagine.
Yeah. At some point,
It'll be out.
So,
Yeah.
worth a trip to the cinema because obviously this is coming out on both streaming and cinema. Worth a trip to the cinema, or
I think I'll be seeing
is
it in cinema.
Yeah, I think I will too. I think I will. Yeah, definitely.
Especially with a film that's going to be so special effects heavy. I think it's quite, you get a lot more out of it in the cinema, won't you? Especially with the sound design and stuff as well.
Oh, no,
you can't
absolutely,
replicate that at home. I know a lot of people have spent a lot of money on sound systems to try, but you just
they've got
fucking can't.
Big dick setups, man. That's like the only thing I'm missing at the moment from my setup. And when I get that paycheck and there's not a bill that's going to wipe me out, one of these months I'll have a bit of spare money, and that's when I get a soundbar,
No, I
mate.
don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Oh, believe it, man. Believe the hype.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
coming.
I'll be selling one of my 2 Nintendo Switches, mate. This month's just. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking cope. Like,
What, with just one Nintendo Switch?
yeah, I won't be able to fucking dual build on the train anymore.
Aye. Mate, it's just a daily struggle, man. Like, I feel for you. You
thanks,
can
Joe.
donate to the GoFundMe in the description to get Jordan at least a 3DS. Just
Why are we not milking
Crushes
our
the
audience
blow.
yet, man? We've got no links for money.
We've got no links for money.
Mind you, we've got no audience either, so
We've got a very small but very dedicated audience. Like,
lovely
they're
bunch
around.
of lovely bunch of fuckers. Yes, thanks.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
God bless you. God bless you.
Let us know in the
guys.
comments if you're alright with us milking you for some money.
Yeah, if you want to chuck us a book, I'll make. There's coffee, isn't there, where you can just like do one-off donations and stuff. I thought about that a couple of times.
I wouldn't want to use that service. We can talk about it another time.
Okie dokie, let's move on. This has got a bit of meat in it. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and yet again, I instantly want to say Shang-Chi and the Master of Kung Fu.
Yep, same every time.
Yeah.
So let's ignore the last 10 seconds of the trailer to start.
That's the main thing that sticks out, isn't it? But like first and foremost,
So-
the actual body of the trailer.
So I want to talk about the rings.
Mm-hmm.
They seem really underpowered.
Do you reckon?
They seem like all of 10 rings add up to, one Iron Man weapon or something like that. It really does seem underpowered, and they don't seem to have unique identities. Now, I'm not sure if this is coming off the back of, okay, we've just had 6 fucking rocks that do stuff, and they're all
6
different.
paperweights.
Yeah, 6 paperweights that do stuff, and they want to step away from that. They don't want it to become a big thing. They want it. Okay, yeah, these rings, they aren't that powerful. Let's just kill the guy who's got them by the end of the film or whatever, But they don't seem to. Yeah, they don't seem to have much of their own identity. They just seem to be
No.
big energy beam.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, and that was one of the few problems I had with Infinity War as well, was when Thanos has got the full gauntlet. What it amounts to essentially is a big energy beam, or 6 big energy beams.
This is a conversation for
do you know
another
what I
day,
mean?
because I completely disagree. And in fact, I couldn't disagree more. I think the Titan scene
Okay.
is one of the most creative uses of that they could have ever done. But that is
I'm
a
not
full
talking about
topic for another day.
I'm not talking about the Titan scene. I'm talking in Wakanda versus Thor when he just shoots out energy beams. But I'm only using that to kind of frame my point on that's yet another supernatural, existential, Marvel MacGuffin that boils down to shooting different coloured lasers at each other.
Yeah.
And it does look like this film is going to have that Marvel climax that you and me fucking hate, of let's get 2 people that have got essentially the same power set and throw them at each other.
It really did seem like
Yeah.
that. I mean, I don't know who to blame for this. Maybe Harry Potter. I don't know.
Potentially, but it's Marvel's got to have the the brunt of the blame as well, because they've done it a lot.
They
They've
have.
done it
They
a lot,
have.
a lot. Yeah.
Wherever they got it from, they thought, "Fuck, this is good," and have just ran with it for 15 years or whatever it's been.
It's made them money. It's made them money.
It does seem that
it's not my favourite though.
no, it's made them a lot of money, but they probably could have made a lot more money without it. I think personally.
Do you know what? I love the MCU just as much as you do. It's one of our favourite franchises. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn there, but
Possibly both of our favourites, if I had to guess.
Absolutely. But the 40% of that movie franchise loses me in the third act. Like 40%. The final kind of action scenes for a lot of these Marvel movies, I'm just kind of switch off for it.
Yeah,
not the big,
I think
not the big tentpole ones.
I think Black Panther is the worst offender for that. The final action in Black Panther, I think, is just boring. I think it's really boring.
It's like a PS2 game, but finding out that Chadwick Boseman was struggling with cancer kind of frames that a little bit for me, because like you couldn't have him doing those stuff.
I'm going to be the arsehole here. I completely disagree.
Okay, because
obviously that's fucking tragic. We lost the guy way too soon, and he was really talented. But he wasn't actually in a mine in the middle of Africa in a Black Panther suit. It was all CG, mate. So I think that's got nothing to do with it, and I don't think it should even be mentioned in relation to it, really, because it's just shit CG. Oh, sorry, Jay, I told you I was coming for you, mate. It's just shit CG, and it's shit action. The rest of the film pretty good, and there is some good action in that film. Don't get me wrong.
There is the Korea scene is one of my favourites in all of it, MCU, like the Korea car chase.
That's really good. Yeah,
top notch. Another one, Captain Marvel, just a bunch of CG bullshit in space. I could live without it.
Best Captain Marvel stuff's in Endgame. It's at the end of Endgame, which just comes and fucking demolishes that ship. That's a really cool moment.
I don't think so. I don't. I'm not the biggest Captain Marvel person.
Anyway, we're talking about Shang-Chi.
We are like our point in kind of derailing there is that it does look like this is going to have the same sort of climax.
So it looks like at the end of the film, they've both got some of the rings and they're fighting over them like Harry Potter and Voldemort did at the end of that film series.
Having said that, though, this film looks very pretty. That's one thing I'm getting from this trailer. A lot of the locations, a lot of the martial arts looks great, which is brilliant because you've got to get that fucking nailed in a film like this when that's really what I'm expecting. A price of admission is like fantastic martial arts scenes. The creature. It
needs good hand-to-hand stuff. This film, it will live and die by that.
It looks like it does. It looks like creative from what you can see. It's all in snippets, but it looks like creative camera work with good hand-to-hand martial arts type stuff. We know that Marvel have got good people when it comes to choreographing shit like that, because like obviously some of the hand-to-hand stuff is Civil War and Winter Soldier, a chef's kiss on that, so they've got access to some of the best in the business for that type of stuff. So also I think the creatures look pretty great. Like you see the giant Chinese style lions, and also you get a little look at a dragon there as well, and I like that kind of leading into.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of that sort of stuff in the film. Definitely.
Well, they definitely did well with like the Thor and the Norse mythology type stuff, so leading a bit more into the Chinese mythology. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be
cool. Funnily enough, I was actually watching some stuff about the Chinese mythology this week, and hopefully they'll go with China's idea of the Chinese mythology and not everyone else's.
Got to elaborate on that. So
for example, dragons in Chinese mythology,
yes,
they are like the dog's bollocks. They are the absolute shit. Dragons are like everything else down here. So when you go to because like Chinatown, which I believe was heavily had a lot of involvement of white people for it to be made.
Weird enough.
You'll see dragons everywhere and stuff like this. But if you actually go to China, they are nowhere except for in the most important part of the building, and there's only one. Because they are up on that pedestal. But then if you go anywhere else, they're just
everywhere.
Just fucking everywhere. Yeah. And there's lots of things like that where things, when they've been translated to the West or other places around the world, they've been a bit exaggerated. And I'd like to see which I think is all we seem to really fucking get. So I'd like to see something maybe a bit more authentic. And I think Marvel are, pretty woke, aren't they? So maybe that's
absolutely.
maybe this is what we're actually going to get with it, and it's not going to be it's going to feel a bit more like China than Chinatown, hopefully.
Definitely.
If that is.
I think translating stuff like that over to the West, a lot of stuff is going to get lost in translation. It's just going to happen, especially when you've got the involvement of a lot of Westerners, like you just said. However, Marvel seems to know their shit, and a lot of people involved in this production, from cast and crew, that Asian people, Asian director, Asian cast, so they're going to put the research in, and it does look like there is just this one dragon. As opposed to like dragons everywhere and everyone's got a fucking dragon. Do you know what I mean? It looks like this one.
Oh, there's a pillar of that building. Oh, look, if you look close, it's all dragons spiraling around to the top. There's a fence. Oh, if you look closely, there's like little dragons all.
Not Iron Fist, sorry. Shang-Chi sits down on the toilet, opens up the paper, dragon.
Yeah. He pulls some toilet roll off and he's got golden dragons embroidered on it.
Just before he flushes, he looks down. It's like, if you look closely, it looks like a dragon.
Yeah.
The last 10 seconds of this trailer throws a bit of a curveball, doesn't it, Jord? I wasn't expecting
it does a
this
bit
at all.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting any hints to the wider Marvel universe in this, really.
No, not at all. But like they seem to be at some sort of Mortal Kombat tournament, or like King of the Iron Fist fuck tournament or whatever, and two of the characters in having a cage match are the Abomination and Wong. What the fuck?
Yeah, so how did either of them get there? Is my question. I've got a lot of questions about this, and I hope it makes sense in the film. That's it.
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, I knew Tim Roth was coming back because he's been confirmed for She-Hulk, but I wasn't expecting him to show up here. I like his little redesign. He looks like he does in the Incredible Hulk, but they've given him his little fish ears from the comics. Like,
I didn't
notice
quite like
that.
I didn't watch a very high def version of this. I think, and I watched it on my phone. And then when we've just rewatched it, I've watched it on my iPad because when I've got my earphones into the podcast, my computer only lets me hear Jay.
Yay! It's because it filters out all the bullshit and gives you just what's
just
important.
Jay, yeah.
Just Jay.
Oh.
Just JTM. It's like it's available for anybody who wants to purchase it.
I'll buy some. Sign me up,
man.
mate.
Yeah, I'll give it you for free. You can have a free sample.
No, I've got to support the industry, anyway.
The industry of Jay. I'm just giving the public what they want, mate. Jay by the barrel load. So the final.
Oh no! Wait!
trailer,
We haven't given that any. Obviously, sounds a pound.
Oh shit! Sound as a pound. It is absolutely sound as a pound with a big asterisk on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure this film's going to be good. I'm sure it'll lose me in the third act, like a majority of Marvel films do. Like I'm pretty sure that's what that's what'll happen.
I got high hopes for this. I'm hoping that they've learned a bit more than you are. But
yeah, it's just. I mean, obviously we get a little bit more of plot in this trailer as well. You know, like Shang-Chi's the son of the Mandarin, which I don't know too much about Shang-Chi. I don't know whether that's always been the way.
No, I was going to ask you that if you know if that is comic accurate or not.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I don't know personally, but no, yeah, it looks like it's another one of these kind of sins of the fathers type thing, where he looks like he's kind of had a preordained kind of destiny to follow in this person's footsteps, but he doesn't respect his father. You know, you're a murderer, you're a terrorist, and I've started a new life in America or wherever he is at the start of this. You see him with his group of friends, and he's just been kind of pulled back into the life for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Of course, day one, I'm there. Like the more I see of this, the more excited I get for it.
Yeah, just quickly before we move on.
George's fact checking. No, it's not.
Dad in the comics is Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu,
who is
very nice.
Ancient Chinese sorcerer who ... and then if I want to read any more, I've got to click the link, and I don't want to.
Don't do it, Jord. Don't click the link.
No, because then you're fucking scrolling between all the ads, and know there's nothing of relevance until like the third, fourth paragraph. Who could be asked with that? Not me.
Not you, not Jord.
Sound
not
is a
on this
pound.
podcast. Sound
No.
is a pound for me as well. Like I said, with a big asterisk. The last trailer that we've got is something that you've been looking forward to for quite some time. I believe it was our first or second episode when you told me about Chainsaw Man, and we've mentioned a few times that it's got an anime confirmed from Mappa.
From Mappa as well, yeah.
They had like a Mappa. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a keynote. It was like a conference almost this week.
Yeah,
We got a few little nuggets of information of what's in development. There's stuff about Attack on Titan Part 2, which we're not gonna touch on at the risk of spoilers. We want Jord to go in as clean as he can be. But the big one to come out of this was the first trailer for the Chainsaw Man anime. I'll give you the floor on this for sound as a pound or down on the ground.
Shit looks good, man. Okay, so
It does.
I have every funnily enough, every currently available volume of Chainsaw Man. And the first volume of Chainsaw Man is one of the best volumes of manga I've ever fucking read. It's so... Oh, it just gets its claws into you, man. Volume 2 let me down a bit, but I'm gonna catch up, read some more, hopefully by next week, whenever I find the time, and hopefully I can come back and say it's fucking dope. But I'm just going to talk about what we actually saw in this trailer, which was quite a bit of action, some characters I haven't even met in the manga yet, and the titular Chainsaw Man doing his chainsaw shit, man, and it fucking looks good. Like, it looks so good.
The last few frames of this trailer are like, wow, man, this is going to be so good.
Wow, this could be special, man. This could be really special. I mean, it's gonna have a lot of hype though, so because it is such a ridiculously popular manga at the moment, and well, Jay will tell you because he's been trying to get copies of it.
And I can't.
And unless you're like me and you jumped on straight away when Volume 1 had just come out, you essentially shit out of luck.
I have a lovely copy of Chainsaw Man Volume 2, courtesy of this beautiful person right here.
Yeah.
Like, because he gifted me a copy of his least favourite volume of this manga. So thank you.
I had duplicates of it because it was so difficult to get. I was trying lots of different places, and I had pre-orders out for like 3 or 4 months at a time, waiting for this fucking shit. Like, obviously I pre-ordered it before it was even released, but then it gets released and Amazon's like, oh shit, we don't have a copy of this for you. I guess you're going to have to wait 3 more months, which is what happened with some of my Spy Family volumes as well.
I just had that.
I thought pre-ordering it was meant to guarantee me one. Fuck's sake, Amazon.
A day one release, yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't with Amazon apparently. So I think I'm going to jump on with W.H. Smith or someone like that instead.
I had that recently with Mappa, not Mappa, sorry, Mashal and Muscles. Like, my copy was meant to be here kind of next week, and it's not coming until like the end of August now.
Really?
And that
I haven't checked on that
as well. I had an email.
Jay, don't do this to me.
In the week.
I don't check my emails.
We'll take a quick break while he checks his emails.
That's right. I'm just going to go on my Amazon.
Yeah. What's the deal with the big dog?
The big dog?
The creatures and stuff. Like, what's the world of Chainsaw Man? Because the way you described it to me...
Demons.
Yeah, the way you described it to me, I wasn't expecting it to be as dark as this. I thought we were in for like a heavy metal... kind of high-octane, good time, Thor Ragnarok style from, like the covers of the manga and the way that you described the plot to me. But this looks like a fucking dark and pretty brutal affair, man.
Get yourself a man who can do both, and I think this show's going to be that, because there are really funny moments in the manga from what I've read so far. So,
I mean, we know that Mappa comes to play. Like, what's that?
In fact, what that is me risking sharing my address.
We couldn't see anything.
It's coming the 19th of August, according to Amazon. Is that what they've said to you?
Yeah, but it was meant to be like next week.
It was like, I know the original release date was like June or July or something, and Mashal is a fucking banger from someone who's read the first 50 chapters in like a day, which is a lot. It sounds... It
doesn't sound like too much, but then like when you actually sit down and read 50 chapters of manga in one day, it's fucking...
I think there's 6 in here.
Yeah.
So it's like 10 of these in one sitting, which is what I did.
10 of them and change, yeah. Well, like, we know that Mappa doesn't fuck about. We've seen that with Attack on Titan Season 4, and you have seen that with Jujutsu Kaisen as well. So this is in fairly good hands.
I would say so,
and
except for some slave labour shit that they're getting accused of. But
that is the downside of talking about any of this shit, isn't it, man?
yeah,
So
but like if
it's
we can't, if we're gonna, I'm sorry, it's unfortunately this is how the world works.
It is, and
every
you know what?
Geek
Manga
Culture
and anime is so fucking good.
podcast, every Geek Culture podcast on the planet would be cancelled if you couldn't talk about stuff where people were being exploited. So,
I'm so
games,
sorry to these
fuck
people.
no. Like,
I sent you that picture though. Look, 'cause like at the same conference that they announced this trailer, they brought on the director of Attack on Titan season 4 part 2.
yeah.
And that guy looks rough, man. He looks like he hasn't slept for weeks. He's got oh shit, the bed. He's got bags under his eyes.
Mate, he's got bags on bags on bags on bags.
They're working him like a dog, dude. Like this is gonna be a fucking meaty season of Attack on Titan.
I hope so. I really
but I
hope
feel so bad for this guy because of the backlash that season 4 part 1 got, and if he's working himself to this fucking state just to get the backlash, I just feel really bad for the people involved in the production. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
to be fair, I'm sure the director's working away with a pocket full, you know. So I won't
God,
worry about
yeah.
him that
He's
much. It's the
he's screwed all
animators
the way.
mainly. But
Yeah.
it looks like he's working hard, so screw anyone that, you know, comes out and says, "Oh, you're lazy, you didn't put enough work into this," and then the guy comes out and he looks
shut
like that. Like, is that
Yeah.
what more proof do you need? Look at the bloke.
Let's see you do better as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You couldn't animate a stick figure, let alone an Attack Titan. Sit the fuck down, stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Go play Fortnite.
Exactly. Sound as a pound. I'm really,
Absolutely.
really excited for this.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say though.
No, Jord, that's a perfect 3 for free. We usually give something down on the ground, mate, but everything this week has got sound as a pound.
What can I give down on the ground?
Snake Eyes trailer came out this week.
Didn't work.
Or I was going to put it on the docket because there was some beautiful imagery of Japan. And it
Slave
looks like it was shot on
labour
location.
down on the
So-
ground.
Yep, slave labour down on the ground. Snake Eyes down on the ground. Football down on the ground. England are playing a game right now. My missus is watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm in here doing a podcast because that's what real heroes do.
But Jay, it's coming home. It's coming home.
It looks like it's coming home, and we, and I hate that. I said that to you off podcast. I hate it when people say we when it comes to a football team. It's like, oh yeah, what fucking position do you play, guys? it's but England were kind of one up when I went into
They
to check
are.
on
They are
Kieran
now
for the podcast.
losing.
They're losing. Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up.
I think it's over. I think they might have lost. I'm not sure.
How bad are they losing?
2-1.
2-1. 2-1 to the Ukraine.
Indeed. Uruguay, I think. I know. I'm looking at
Ukraine. It's Ukraine.
I'm looking at a match from 2014. They lost that one. I thought putting England, Uruguay, because that was who my stepdad told me we were playing. I think I thought putting that into Google would pull it up, but it pulled up in like fucking right up front. A match from 2014.
Your stepdad used to give me driving lessons.
He's a sound bloke.
I don't follow the football, but obviously he does, and we took quite a shine to each other. I really enjoyed having driving lessons with your stepdad. And to start a conversation with me, he said, like, do you follow the football? Or he said, like, what team do you support? And I said, I don't follow it. And I've never seen a person look so hurt. The man looked like he died inside.
He's a big football fan. His team lose and he's in a mood for the rest of the day, sort of football fan. You know,
I can't
he
picture
loves
him
the
in a
stuff.
mood.
You know,
I accidentally. Sorry, go on. I can't picture him.
I like that he's got something that he's so passionate about.
Yeah, me too. I took the wing mirror off a car by accident once, or almost did, and he didn't even raise his voice to me then. He's such a patient man. We're blessed to have him.
I always say this, he's got the perfect temperament to be a driving instructor, because...
Definitely.
I mean, you know, he raised me and I don't remember him shouting. So...
he raised a good lad.
Oh.
There's too much bromance on this podcast, man. We should probably be a bit meaner to each other. You fucking I can't do it. Jord, I think we're going to transition into our trademark break, but before we do, we had a new theme up top this week, and I'd just like to say thank you very much to Gary Davis from the awesome band Skullfox, who helped me kind of take my little shitty demo and turn it into a full punk banger. So that's going to bring us in.
When you sent that to me, I was at work in the office and I played it to my team and they fucking loved it, man. So...
Nice one, man. Nice. I'm glad you liked it because I kind of did that in a little bit of secrecy because you asked me to do a higher quality version of the kind of James Blunt parody that's been playing since we started.
Well, basically, I asked Jay to just re-record it. He did it before he got his mic. I just, so just with better audio quality. And instead, he completely outdid himself. So you've already heard it at this point. Do we have a break theme yet, or we're still spitballing? Should I play a few of our voice memos when we were fucking around from the other day?
Yeah. Do it.
I'll forget. No, I'm not committing to
that. No. Okay, if you remember though, that'd be fucking awesome. But we are working on kind of like a mid-credits thing. But no, links to Skullfox, which is Gary's band, are in the description. Thank you very much for the theme. I think that'll be a regular thing at the end of the podcast now. Thank you to Gary Davis for our theme. And yeah, I just wanted to say, like, because I know he listens to this as well, like, thank you very much, brother.
No, it's really appreciated. It's so fucking good. It's really good.
It does mean that we're going to be retiring the classic theme.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll play it at the end of this episode, for one last time, and then because we've got an ending theme as well. But funny enough, now the ending theme makes no fucking sense because it's a parody of the opening theme.
Maybe play the old opening theme at the end. But no, yeah, play us out one last time. And I will say, my pod is busting. My pod is pure. I've got a mucker. His name is Jord. It's Mukkapod. It's Mukkapod. It's Mukkapod A8. And we're going to talk about some characters that ain't even real and hope someone gives a shit. Our kid.
Ha ha ha.
Thank you.
There you go. I think is at the end of it as well.
There you go. Ha ha. So there you go. Right, nice one. Alright, so next we're going to talk about One Punch Man. So I'll say up front, spoiler warning for One Punch Man.
I would say season 1, but there's only one season of it, so it don't matter.
We're gonna talk a little bit beyond that because I know you've got a fuck ton of manga, so I'll talk a little bit beyond that. So just spoiler alert for One Punch Man, but we'll try and shout it up top when we go into it and we talk about it. But sometimes we just start waxing fucking lyrical about spoilers and forget to shout it out. So from this point on, tread lightly. Have at least watched.
I don't think this is a show you can spoil.
One Punch! There you go.
Okay.
That's spoiled it.
The man with a solitary punch.
Yes, single punch, one knuckle man.
Single strike human.
Un punch man.
That was bad.
Jord,
No, sorry. Solitary strike civilian.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the thesaurus for it. I'll get a better one. I promise you. Jord, I see that manga on your shelf every single week, and I didn't realise until I came round to your house that it was actually One Punch Man manga.
Pretty much all One Punch Man. I think like 50%. Well, maybe not anymore because I've brought a lot more, but like a quarter of all of the manga that I own is One Punch Man.
Punch Man. Yeah. So you're like a big fan then. Like I
fucking love it. It's one of my favourite franchises. Yeah. And it was the thing that really got me into anime about a couple of years ago. I'd only seen bits. I had a partner who was really into it, so I watched I always want to watch 50 episodes of Fairy Tail, which don't do that. Don't fucking do that.
I debated Fairy Tail until you said nah, don't do it.
It's a waste of time. There's like 200 episodes. It's like just as daunting as One Piece, but apparently just like way worse. So
yeah.
Don't bother.
One Piece and Bleach, I'm just never gonna watch because they're both too fucking daunting, man. And it's the same with Evangelion.
Naruto as well.
Naruto, it's not happening. Dragon Ball Z, it's not happening.
The daunting aspect of Dragon Ball Z isn't what puts me off. It's actually having seen some episodes that puts me off watching Dragon Ball Z.
Ooh.
I know a lot of
So-
people love. I know a lot of people love it. I know a lot of people love watching the same fight for 7 episodes, but I don't. So a lot of
Fair
people
enough.
love tough people floating in the sky, chatting shit to each other, talking smack, and then punching up for about 7 hours. But I'm not into it, mate.
That's one thing I like about One Punch Man. Like you go into that first episode and like the very first creature that you see the titular hero fighting looks like one of the final forms of one of the big bad guys from
Have a feeling
Dragon
that was
Ball Z.
intentional.
Yeah. Well, that first episode, it's could very well be an Attack on Titan reference as well, potentially, because it's got the strongest
Yeah,
man. It looks like the
maybe.
colossal
Yeah,
Titan.
I'd never actually thought of that because obviously I watched this so long before I watched any Attack on Titan. This footstool's hurting my arse. I need to move.
No, get up, Jord, get up. It's fine. We'll be right back while Jord stands.
I was going to cut it, but I'm not going to.
Okay, fair enough. Oh shit! So I have to make this entertaining then.
Yeah. Do your job.
Oh shit. And that was the first thing I thought watching it, to be honest with you. Obviously it's a bit different for me because I saw Attack on Titan first, but the first thing I thought was, okay, Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titan. Let's get into the nitty gritty of this. Like so overall, One Punch Man, in sort of like
tall
as
now.
much detail as you can. Tall boy. He's a big lad. Colossal Jord. New Twitter handle, Colossal Jord.
What were you asking me to do? What is my Twitter handle?
Yeah, it's the _Sido.
No, I meant the other bit, but I think it's just Jord, isn't it, or something like that.
Yeah,
Just Jord.
Just Jord. That's a new one as well. Just Jord.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's get into the meat of this then. Okay, so One Punch Man, just overall thoughts from you, as you said, you watched it about 5 years ago when it was coming out. Like, do you remember?
Oh, I've seen it a lot since then. I have.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably my most rewatched anime because I think it is just so easy to rewatch. We're talking
Definitely,
specifically the first season. You may hear me make jokes about how there isn't a second season. There obviously is. It went to a different studio. It was nowhere near as good. I've still seen that at least 4 times. But still, season 1 is fucking where it's at, man. Season 1.
No, yeah, it absolutely blew me away. I mean, I'd heard of One Punch Man, and I knew him through you, and I knew of it because of the memes and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's the very famous OK face from the last episode of season 1. I'd seen that loads. I've seen a lot of memes concerning One Punch Man, and I assumed that it was just like a total satire, total gag character. I didn't even know it was a proper anime. I thought it was like a Western produced anime.
So it is total satire. It is a proper gag character in a real anime world.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of
Everyone around him super serious about what they're doing at all times. You know, especially Genos, which we will talk. I'm sure we'll talk about in length.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone else is very serious. Saitama, he will say stuff like "serious punch," but I don't take him that seriously.
No, but he doesn't. I don't think he takes himself too seriously either, because he is the equivalent of, like, you start Pokemon Red and Professor Oak gives you a level 100 Mewtwo, and then you play the rest of the game. So it's because I get that. Like, we all go to college and we all go to school and we study to get good at something, and we hone that craft. And it's always new and exciting, and you're learning, you're picking stuff up, and then eventually you do that same thing for 8 hours a day until you're fucking dead. Do you know what I mean? So I understand that kind of, you know, I've got the chase is better than the destination. The trip is better than the destination.
So if I can use a little story from my own personal life. When I was a kid, I say kid, I was about a teenager or something like that. I played a very popular mobile game called Simpsons Tapped Out.
Never played it.
Now, with a lot of these mobile games, there's the freemium currency, which you can probably buy some or you can earn some, and then there is the strictly premium currency, which the game will probably like give you a few droplets of. But if you want it, just you got to swipe your credit card, and that's pretty much the way to get it. So being somewhat knowledgeable when it comes to tech sort of guy, I installed a patch, but this was a long time ago. I say a long time, it was probably like 8-9 years ago now, it feels like it. Or anyway, I installed a patch to the game. It probably wasn't that long, I don't know. I installed a patch to the game that gave me unlimited of the premium and the freemium currency, and I stopped playing it within a day after that, because you just
ruined the game for yourself.
Ruined the game, did everything, got bored, and that was a big learning experience for me about cheating in games. I really haven't done it since, because
imagine
it's
that
fucking
though.
boring.
Imagine that though, but you can't stop playing the game. Imagine you've got all this currency, and that is where Saitama's at the
he's
at the start of this.
just stuck in this boring life where nothing challenges him, nothing's difficult. But then at the same time, everything else kind of sucks for him still. He's not a very lucky guy either, with his public image
really
and stuff.
Now, I'm willing him all the way through this season to get the fucking recognition he deserves from his peers and from the general populace of like the world that he inhabits, and it just never fucking comes. And I guess that's kind of the point, because we know that Saitama is a fucking badass, like as readers and as watchers, we know. But they don't know, and
I think what badass is such a severe understatement to this character. It's just it's satire, isn't it? It's satire of the whole shonen genre. Saitama is intentionally unbeatable.
His power level is just so far and above everything else in that world.
He doesn't exist on a power level. He's a god, and there are a few characters in the universe that recognise this. Obviously Genos, but we've also got Bang, Silverfang. There's a few people, and then like a few more people in the next season, which I won't really get into.
No, we're going to mainly talk about season 1 today. But
some people in the universe do start to like Hellish Blizzard, for example. For Fubuki, I think her name is. She turns up and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass, mate. We're gonna crush some newbies and all of that. And she is absolutely no match, obviously.
I don't think anybody
she's
is,
just going full out with the powers, and it's just like a breeze to him, isn't it? It's nothing.
Well, Genos is the same as us though, where he's witnessed like this insane power of Saitama from like first hand, much like the readers have, so that's why he is so enamoured with him. But the general populace, of course, nobody could fucking beat these gigantic creatures with one punch. So
because obviously, even if it was the real world,
especially not a C rank hero, so he must be a big cheating bastard, and it sucks. I want him to get the recognition that he deserves, and it gets so close in the last sort of batch of episodes with the beast of the king of the sea, the deep sea king. Those 2 episodes are my favourite episodes, but I'll come back to that. But it happens like I fucking fist. I was watching it right here. I was sat right here watching it, and he takes the sea king down with one punch, and the crowd cheers for him, and I fist pumped. I was like, fucking yeah! Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then one person in the crowd's like, oh,
and ruins it for everyone. Yeah. But he goes along with it, doesn't he, to protect the reputation of the heroes that got their asses absolutely handed to them. You know what I mean? Including my boy Moomin Rider.
Moomin Rider, true protagonist. Believe the hype. Like, no, absolutely. I could be Moomin Rider because I like to take my bicycle places. Well, all you need is a fucking bike and a helmet, mate, and you're there. So.
Episode 3, he turns up to face Hammerhead. Takes the time to put his fucking kickstand on.
I love Moomin Rider. He just works so well. Like the comedic value of that character is astronomical. I love it.
The the thing is though, they play him for laughs, and obviously yes, he is a comedic character. I like that Moomin, like in Japanese, actually means like somebody who can't get a driver's license. So he's Moomin Rider who rides a bicycle because he's had his moped license taken off him. So I think that's really fucking cool as well. But but they do sort of bring the feels with him in the Sea King episodes, which again are my favourite episodes of this season. They bring the feels with him because like we have seen this creature who is far and above, way more powerful than any other threat that we've seen in the show so far, and we've seen him absolutely kick the nutsack in of heroes pretty much twice, 3 times, 4 times as powerful as Moomin Rider, because he's essentially just like a normal dude whose only superpower is that he can ride a bike.
I don't think we've ever seen him beat anyone that I can recall.
No, we haven't. But he gives it his best fucking go, doesn't he?
He does, and he's so charismatic that when Moomin Rider turns up on the set wherever the fight's happening, the public are happy.
They love him.
They love him. He's a very popular hero, isn't he? Is he rank 1C or something?
He's rank 1C, and he's only not moving up to B class because he doesn't want to. In terms of the public, they absolutely love him.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
I think we should move on a little bit from Moomin Rider. I want to talk about the action first. So
cool.
Going into it, you would think, well, the action's going to be shit. Every fight's over in one punch. No,
it's not that way at all.
Not the case. So yeah, a lot of stuff that happens with Saitama, it's one punch, but they're still creative with it. It still looks great. But then basically every other superhero, we just wait. They're fighting. That shit all looks great. Just the normal superheroes, not Saitama. That. All they ever seem to really do is stall for Saitama to get there. And I love this in the recreation of One Punch Man games. So there have been a few. And I played a lot of a mobile game that came out. I won't name which one because it's a scam, I think, looking back on it. But essentially, a lot of mobile games are. Haha, big surprise.
Your industry is a scam.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Your games are bad. We're coming for you. Go on.
But essentially, there's a bar, there's a meter. You can play as every other character in the world. Well, the ones that they've added to the game so far or whatever, apart from Saitama. And what you have in every fight is a meter of how many attacks you've done. And once you get to a certain, once you fill the bar, Saitama just turns up and punches them once. And that's it.
That's essentially how the anime goes down as well.
It is, yeah. And I love how they didn't try and make it. No one's tried to make a game where you play as One Punch Man, because what is the fucking fun
What's
in
the
that?
point?
But there is a lot of that. Genuinely, really good characters in this show, in this universe that you can play off for laughs. You can even play as King. I don't know if this gets elaborated on further because I haven't read all of these yet. But King does actually have superpowers. Yeah. Even though
right, he's not just a great fighter.
Well, no, King's not. That's too much of a spoiler territory, I think.
Okay.
So I'll reverse. I'll come out of that. Sorry, I forgot that was season 2, because the King stuff I actually do like from season 2.
For the episode I did watch, King seems like an interesting character, because I only watched one episode of season 1 before this, which is probably a bad thing. But I do like that supporting cast of superheroes. I like Genos, obviously, even though all he seems to do is just get repeatedly.
Oh yeah, Genos is Genos is in a fight. He's demolished by the end of it, but for some reason he's like the 10th best superhero. He's like S rank. I think like 7 or something stupid like that by the end of it. Bonkers.
Well, Saitama would have been the same if he hadn't fucked the written exam. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't due to his ability. It was due to
Well, no, that's what bothers me about it. Why did they put him in Class C? Because he broke all of their equipment.
I think it's because he didn't score well on the written exam, because he doesn't take himself seriously. He's just so blasé about everything. He probably didn't even try. Because let's be honest with you, he's not trying. He tried when he was fucking working his way up. You know, when he was doing those 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-mile run every day. That's when he was trying. He worked so hard, he balded himself. He worked out so hard that he went bald, right? But now he's just so blasé about everything. He doesn't put effort into any aspect of his life, and that's probably why he failed this written exam. That's kind of what I gleaned from it anyway. Yeah,
I think he's just a bit dense, really.
He is. Yeah.
Do you know anything about the character of Blast? I think it's Blast.
This is the #1 superhero in the world who is strangely absent in season 1 when all the heroes are called together. So I don't know anything about it other than that. Than I looked at it and I was like,
it's all a bit mysterious of still where I'm up to. Again, I'm not fully caught up, and obviously this is all the hard copies. You can get digital ones a lot sooner than hard copies, so it probably would be up about here, you know. But there's just the fan theory that I really wanted to mention, is that the theory is that Blast had a very similar origin story to Saitama, except he only did 99 push-ups. You know, he only did 99 squats. Which I just fucking love. I would love it if that was true.
I love it. I love the idea that you can get that as strong as he is from just doing those kinds. I mean, that's a difficult workout, you know.
Yeah. It is, and people have done it online and stuff like that, you know. And it is difficult to do. There's obviously something else. It's obviously not just the workout that has made him this strong, because you have some ultra powerful heroes in this universe that don't hold a candle in the slightest, you know. So there's got to be something else, but I enjoy the fact that this isn't like a huge plot point of what gave him his powers. You know, it's
something that I've wondered, but it's not something that I'm dying to find out. Yeah.
And that's because they're not shoving it in our face. They're not, you know. They're not constantly alluding to some greater power or anything like that. It's just, this is Saitama. He kills people in one punch. Enjoy. That's it.
And I did. I did a lot. I love Jedos's reaction when he finds out. When he's like, "Listen up, Jedos, I'm going to tell you I got this strong 100 squats," and he's just like, "What the fuck? You're so full of shit. It's not even that hard." And I took umbrage with that, because I don't know if anybody's actually tried to do. I mean, I don't so much anymore, but I was into my fitness. Jord remembers. If anyone's tried to do 100 push-ups it's not easy. It's not normal as Jedos says it is.
I think when I was at my healthiest. When I was at my healthiest, I could do it in sets of 8 with 20-minute breaks or something like that. You know, to do a fucking 100 push, that shit's hard, man.
I could do 25 to failure at the peak of my physicality, which means I can definitely get 25 out, and then I might be able to squeeze out a couple more. I can't even do 10 now. Do you know what I mean? If I was to do this workout, 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-mile run, I could do it, but I'd have to do it throughout the day in sets of 10. I'd have to do 10 sets of 10 and set my alarm for like 20 minutes or half an hour and do it like that throughout the day. It's not an easy workout, and I like I just said, it's very easy for a cyborg to tell me that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got fat shamed by a fucking Japanese cartoon. Told me I wasn't working out.
We did a bit, didn't we? Yeah.
We did.
I didn't think about it like that.
No, I did. That's where my mind goes. All right, let's jump into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. So we're talking a little bit about the supporting cast at the moment. Is there anybody else that we haven't mentioned? Like maybe Sonic Speed of Sound?
Speed of Sound Sonic.
Speed of Sound Sonic, yeah.
I like the character.
Punched in the dick.
Oh god, that shot where his fist goes into it and you can just see it moving around inside of his clothes, and
doesn't it flash to technical difficulties, please stand by, and like a rainbow as that happens? Am I remembering that correctly?
I don't remember that.
I thought something
Maybe
flashed up on the screen. Like that. Maybe I don't. No, you still see it and everything.
I remember it being quite graphic.
Yeah, it was. I love that. Again, I'm coming back a lot.
Sorry, I just want to say, I don't remember the show ever breaking the fourth wall.
No, Okay, maybe I'm remembering that wrong or something. I could have sworn there was some kind of funny graphic that popped up when he got hit in the balls, but
I can't remember.
I keep coming back to those Beast King, the Sea King episodes, but a lot of good shit happens in those episodes, so I'm really sorry for kind of going back to it again, because Sonic gets some good play in that episode where he's fighting the Beast King and he's like, right, I need to go and get all my gear, and then he comes and then after everything, when the dust is cleared, all the rubble's been swept away, he's just there in all his gear.
That's funny.
Like, what? I'm here to fight. I do like the comedy. It's not like regular anime comedy either, when they like go into little chibi styles and like it cuts to like another character.
No, so instead of that, what we get is manga style little snippets of where he'll fade from a fully animated character into sometimes not just normal manga, but the original web comics that one started. Which if you go back, if you look at it, it looks fucking awful. But that's the whole point terrible, of it. You know, that's why it was so successful. Or at least it contributed to it.
Yeah, that very famous meme that I said up top, the OK meme with that's very much in the style of that original.
I'm gonna say it's from the anime, but it looks like it's from a manga or something like that. Yeah. So you've told us what your favourite episodes are. I'm gonna be really fucking boring, and I love the last 2 episodes of season 1.
Mm-hmm. No, the last 2 episodes of season 1 are incredible. They're incredible, but there was more. I think there was just a little bit more heart to the Beast, the Sea King
there was definitely more heart to those episodes. I'll agree with you there, but I just preferred these myself. You know, I love when he you know, Saitama boards the ship and he's just going through. It's a really great sequence of him going through the ship, but then he gets to like the control room with I'm going to try and say this character's name, but I don't know if I know how to pronounce it properly. I've only ever read it. Geryugenshu, I think it is.
That sounds about right to me. Is that the octopus?
And he's just like, this is like the most powerful telepath in the universe or whatever. And Simon just throws a pebble through his head, and that's it.
I like that where he's like, "You get off the ship. I'll give you directions to get off the ship. Just go down to the bottom of the corridor and take a right." And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go this way. Take a left then." His face changes to that manga style.
And I just want to say how much I love the fight with Boros. There's not really much to talk about. It's just a good anime fight.
It's just good. It's good.
It's good. And then, you know, the whole time I'm watching it and I'm thinking, oh my god, this fucking Boros guy is powerful. And then you get to the end and you realise, oh, Simon was just fucking with him.
Holding back. Yeah.
He was just messing with him. He got shot to the moon and he was like, oh, I'm on the moon. Cool.
This is almost a good fight.
But you actually see him at the end of the fight, and Saitama, he is completely unscathed. They draw him as they would, you know, when he's just woke up in the morning or something like that. It really was absolutely fuck all for him. So I really enjoy that they do bring in this super powerful, universe-threatening being, and still give us a good fight, but still manage to maintain the integrity of that character.
He still gets totally bitched, but I think there was a lot of parallels between. Did you say his name was Boros?
Yeah.
Lord Boros, was it? There's a lot of parallels between him and Saitama because he sort of described his origin story and it was very similar. You know, like I burnt through every challenge on my world and I've become so powerful.
Which I have to say, it's a common story. There's characters of that in Warcraft. There's tons of characters like that in Warcraft. There's characters like that in Invincible that we met first season. You know, it's a bit of a trope.
It's a trope, isn't it? Looking for a warrior's death or
looking for someone strong enough to kill them, essentially.
But maybe Saitama sees a little bit of himself in Boros, and that's why he throws him a bit of a bone to be like, all right, I'll hold back a little bit.
Because what he did,
that's what I took from
it was a favour to Boros. He gave him the death that he was chasing. And he made it this big spectacle for his sake, for the sake of this this alien that's invading Earth, because he kind of empathises with him a little bit, which I really loved. You know, there's some moments in this show that you really can think quite deeply about.
Yeah, he's got layers.
Probably maybe on a first watch you wouldn't think a lot of the stuff that you do.
Well, I wasn't expecting it to be as deep as it gets. I literally thought it was going to be just like a straight up parody, and it is, but it's not at the same time. Like the characters that inhabit this world and the world that gets constructed. You know, it's a world of superheroes.
Yeah, no, it's what I said earlier. It's a parody character in a serious world.
A serious world, yeah. I like the scene.
Well, I say serious world. There is
a serious anime
world. His origin story does start with him saving a kid with the biggest ball chin that you've ever fucking seen in your life. But actually,
I like that guy, the crab guy. Like I ate too much crab, and that's how I became like this, and that was his origin story. So maybe it's not like an alien power or whatever that gave Saitama his powers. Maybe that's just the mechanics of this world. Like I ate too much crab, so I turned into a giant crab man. It's like I did a lot of fucking physical training, so now I am can kill people with one punch.
I've never thought about that. I just want to quickly mention a few things about how the lore of the world can be a bit deeper when you think about it, and Saitama is a much more important character to everything else than you would realise. So,
go for it.
In the flashbacks where he fights the crab, being Saitama's origin story essentially, the kid that he saves in his origin story has this huge ball chin, as I just mentioned. Now, the founder of the Heroes Association is that character's dad. Canonically.
Oh, really?
The founder of the Heroes Association has the big ball chin, and he did it as a thank you to the hero that saved his son's life. Saitama is the reason
crazy.
for the entire Heroes Association, which is, if you didn't catch the ball, I think it's shown, or the small mentions to it. You wouldn't have fucking picked it up. It's not.
I can picture the ball
all.
chin now. Yeah, I wouldn't have caught that unless you'd mentioned it to me. But no, absolutely, I could picture the character you're talking about. You're right.
And there are lots
That's
of little
crazy.
things like that I really should have written down. Everything that I'm saying is just off the top of my head, which is surprising.
No, it's all good.
Because this is something that I have a lot more to say about than the normal off the top of my head shit. And I normally watch that stuff a couple of weeks before the podcast or a week before the podcast. This was ages ago, but I just love it. It's
yeah, I can tell. Yeah, your eyes are lighting up as you talk about it, man. I like the scene after he saves the city from the meteor, and the crowd kind of turns against him because the tank top brothers or whatever they're called.
Tank top tiger, tank top master, etc.
Yeah, and I like the guy that sat on the board with him, and he's one of the tank top guys in the last couple of episodes. It's like, oh, Saitama, that name sounds familiar. It's like, yeah, it's because he's fucking kicked your brother's asses a couple of times. But no, the crowd turns against him, and then they're all basically telling him that he should give up and fucking quit, and he stands his ground, and he actually just like spits back at him, and he's like, no, I don't need your fucking gratitude.
I don't need your approval.
I saved you all. Do you know what I mean? I do this for me, not for your. Do you know what I mean? So I like that. I like that he kind of has a bit of a clap back. He doesn't really sink into any depression or anything like Spider-Man would do. So like Spider-Man would have swung off the top of a building and contemplated, and thought about Uncle Ben and shit. And like, put his costume in a garbage can. Saitama's not like that, man. It's like, he'll punch you in the dick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about One Punch Man? I could just talk about things that happen in the show for ages, but I think that doesn't make for the most fulfilling content.
No. I just wanted to say, like, the first episode kind of stands as its own beast. Like I like that episode probably just as much as the last couple. I think the animation in that kind of dream sequence is incredible. Like, fucking visually wow. Like, it's something special. That doesn't come back up then until like sort of the last episode, really speaking. I mean, the kind of sparring match that Saitama and Genos have, that's kind of, from an animation standpoint, that's kind of impressive as well. Yeah. But not on the same scale really enjoy that, as yeah, but not on the same scale as like that opening dream sequence fight, and also the fight at the end with the alien. Those are the two probably most standout action scenes for me in the whole show.
Yeah.
And I like that he's just in his pajamas.
I do really like the House of Evolution episode with Carnage Kabuto and stuff like that as well. I think that's a really good episode.
Great. Yeah.
Obviously, you know, quite famously ends because Saitama realised he's
Missed
missed the sale at the shop. That's a big meme for One Punch Man.
But you think that he's met his match for a minute, don't you? Because he's saying, "Oh, I've made a huge mistake," and he seems to be getting his ass kicked, and then he comes to the realisation.
Misdirection.
Beautiful. My favourite part of the House of Evolution is when they break his ceiling and he fights the Beast King. So that was I had to pause it. I pissed myself laughing. That was so funny. That was like, because I was watching it, I was really enjoying it, and that was the moment that kind of grabbed me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there was any kind of weaker episodes of this or filler episodes, it would be sort of like the 2 or 3 episodes when they join the Hero Association.
I disagree. It's the
a little bit.
It's the underground one. For me, where it is just a dream, the episode's a dream.
Which one's that?
Or part of the episode's a dream. Where he fights, where the people from, I forget what the monsters are called now, but they come from, they're like, the subterraneans.
Oh, that's in the first episode?
Is it? Is that the first?
Yeah,
that's not the first episode.
It's the very first episode.
Is
that
it?
one is. Yeah.
Well, the first episode's Vaccine Man, isn't it? But is there,
Vaccine Man, and then the World's Strongest, and then there's a dream sequence right at the end.
Oh, is it? Is it?
He fights the Subterranean King, and then he fights them in real life, and they wave the white flag. And
yeah, I was kind of gutted.
Episode,
I really didn't like that was a dream sequence. I don't like that in shows, and that's probably my only complaint about the series.
I enjoyed the animation of that fight, and obviously it was going to be a dream, though, wasn't it? Because he's like starting to feel fulfilled again, and you're not going to get that in the first episode. It's like if his arc is trying to find that. Interesting how they set up Genos in that episode as well, because I thought that he was going to be like the antagonist, because they show him in quite an ominous way right at the end, heading towards the city, don't they? And I was like, ooh, I've seen this guy in the intro. Is this the antagonist? And then it's just not. Do you know what I mean? It's another
Genos is
subversion.
such a well-written punching bag.
Yes, God bless him. So God bless him.
Right then, if we're all done there, I'm just going to ask. Aazitgewin, mate.
Aazitgewin, Jord.
Woo! Aazitgewin, what's going on? Tell us about all the shit that you've done. Aazitgewin, our kid.
It's going pretty well, mate. Like I said,
first time viewers, just don't worry about it. don't worry about it. It's fine.
Long dramatic pause. Oh, mate, actually, before Aazitgewin, are you got no comments for us?
We'll do that after. Yeah.
You want to do it after? Yeah, we'll do that right.
We'll stick that last.
Yeah. So I watched something accidentally this week, and it's weird how you can watch something accidentally, isn't it? Like, my girlfriend, I don't think has the best taste in what she chooses to watch as a series.
Couldn't possibly comment.
No, so she's done like Vampire Diaries, and she's done like Emily in Paris, and at the moment she's studying Spanish, right? And one of the things that she started watching was a Netflix show called Elite. Now, Elite is a Spanish drama series that follows a bunch of sort of like 18, 19-year-olds in like a Spanish high school or like what we'd call a college kind of thing. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, and like every time I looked at the screen, they were just like shagging or whatever. I just thought it was like Skins. Do you know what I mean? And not for me. But I'm obviously
Skins not for you.
No, but I thought it was that kind of drama kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a Greendale maybe kind of thing. No, sorry, Riverdale, not Greendale. That's Community.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah, okay,
Riverdale
no, sorry,
type
okay,
thing.
I understand that.
I thought it was another Vampire Diaries, but the more that I sat there, because I'm not going to go sit in a different room from her, and I started out sitting with her and reading Attack on Titan or playing on the Switch, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. This is why I'm on my third watch through of Desperate Housewives currently.
Because it started to draw me in, because it's like a murder mystery, but like every season opens with showing you a dead body, and the kids at the school are being interviewed by police, and it flashes back, and that's the main meat of the entire series, is this kind of flashback kind of thing. So, like, in the first season, you're thinking, who would murder this girl? She seems like such a nice person in the first couple of episodes. And then the more you find out, it's like, okay, a lot of people have got a motive to kill this girl. And the characters are actually, like, really well written. And there's this one character who's, like, the daughter of a drug dealer. And she's just, like, very dry and very witty. And it's actually, like, a really good show, like, to the point that I'd recommend it. But, like, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? So I was instantly fucking turned off by it, but the more I actually sat down and gave it the time of day, it was actually a really good show. So that's Elite, that is, on Netflix. I would very much recommend. You might enjoy that.
Is it subbed or dubbed?
Sit down and watch that together. It's subbed. It's subbed, but some of it's in English as well, because they're learning English at school, so some of the characters will speak.
Okay.
They do that Duolingo thing, or what do they call people who can speak more than one language? Like polyglots, I think they're called. They'll do that thing where they'll be speaking bilingual. Thank you.
You know what polyglots? I know Duolingo's an app.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't think of the word. It's hard sometimes when I'm doing it off the top of my head. But they do that bilingual thing where they'll just be speaking in. Oh, you good?
Yeah.
Yep, speaking in their native language, and then they'll just start. They'll do a sentence or two in English, and then back to their native language, kind of thing. So, yeah, it's worth a watch, mate. I would recommend it to you.
Okay, it sounds like Kate's sort of thing.
No, definitely pitch it to Kate.
So I'll see what she thinks.
Yeah. Defo. How's it going with you, mate?
Oh shit, mate! Shit week, horrible week.
I love you though. Just remember that. I hope this has finished it at least good.
Hospitals and isolations, and it's been shit. But I did finish. I actually sat down today. Something I've been meaning to get around to for a while, and watched the back end of the first series of So I'm a Spider, So What? Or I believe it's Kumo Desuga Naniga, I think.
Ooh, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, could just be seeking shit. Which I am a fan of. You know, I got
It looks funky, yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So I'm briefly just gonna go over the premise again. There's a classroom in Japan. It's a fucking isekai, okay? So if you don't like isekai, tune out now. See you next week.
See you next week.
Actually, we'll be reading comments in a
subscribe.
minute. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's an isekai, right? I like an isekai. Jay knows that about me. I've seen all of the main ones. They're in Japan. Big explosion. We don't really know what it is. On this classroom, and everyone, including the teacher, gets transported to this fantasy or RPG-like sort of world. The first person that we were introduced to was reincarnated as a spider, hence the title. So I'm a spider, so what?
That's the title of the thing?
It is, mate.
The titular spider?
And the first part of the series is essentially you're watching this character go through the Great Elro Labyrinth, where they were born into as a spider under one of the great tower texts. And just watching them become stronger. There's, it's like an MMO sort of world.
Okay.
So there's skill points, there's new abilities, and all of that shit.
Cool.
And you basically just watch this spider become super fucking OP and take on like huge dragons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's great fun. And like an army of hundreds of like strong monkeys and stuff like that. It's fucking.
If there's one thing you know about me, I love a big monkey. So
you do love a big monkey. But also, there's a bit more of a twist to it than that. So, she was reincarnated as a spider. You're in an egg, you're born, you're a spider, aren't you? You're already fully thinking. pretty much everyone else that was born in this, that was reincarnated, was born again as a human or like a humanoid type thing, like an elf or some shit like that.
Right.
So they have to grow up again. And by the time we first meet them, they're like, I would guess 14 or 15. However, it took me a few episodes to realise that there is 2 separate timelines where, you know, we're watching the spider here on the timeline and the rest of the reincarnations here on the timeline. And there's a whole lot of fucking unaccounted space for this spider to become super fucking powerful, you know, and just be one of... And, you know, by the time that the other reincarnations are teenagers, this is like the spider is the most fearful being in the world. It's called the nightmare of the Great Elbow Labyrinth, and it's just not a concept I've really seen before. So, and then, you know, the episodes, like we see bits of the spider, we see bits of the other reincarnations throughout the rest of the series. One of the other reincarnations becomes the hero after his brother dies, which is something that only one living person can be, and then it gets passed on. And, you know, we're thinking the whole time that they're working to be the good guys. They have their own conflicts. There's some baddies in, you know, it's a very separate story for nearly all of season 1. It sort of converges in the very last episode where we realise, oh, okay, some people we thought were baddies aren't baddies. Some people we thought were goodies aren't goodies. You know, and
I love shit like that though. That kind of recontextualizes it for a second watch through as well. Like I like stuff that like you can watch through once and then have a completely different experience rewatching it again.
So now I finished season 1. I'm going to do what I normally do with a show that I really really enjoyed and just jump on the manga.
Yeah, man.
I would recommend this show. It doesn't take itself super seriously. It's a lot of fun. But also,
where can I find that if I was so inclined? Is it a Crunchyroll?
Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll, and I believe it's sub only. I watched it all sub because I was watching it weekly for the first like 15 episodes, and then I
can't abide by English dubs anyway, mate. You know that about me. Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind them.
Yeah,
I'll watch either. You know, if it's a show I'm not really that bothered about, 90% of the time I watch an English dub.
Fair enough. I always go for
Okay, so the first season of Dr. Stone I watched English sub. The second season I really liked the first season after that, so I did watch it as sub instead.
See, Dr. Stone, man, it's funny that you mentioned that because I'm in a few anime groups on Facebook and they do those tournaments thing like react for your favourite one and each one gets knocked out, and the final of one the other day was Attack on Titan and Dr. Stone beat Attack on Titan, and I was thinking, who the fuck are you?
It's
Dr. Stone. It's like, who the fuck are you?
It is pretty good, but
it seems that way.
Not much of the story has been told yet. I feel like there's a lot more that show has to give. And I'm there for it, man. I've seen everything that's come out so far. Fucking banger. It's not well, better than Attack on Titan. What's happened there is too many people who are like butthurt people on Twitter attacking the animation team are in that group voting down Attack on Titan.
or people that are like you know, that they rally against it because it's super duper popular.
Yeah.
Because I saw something this week. I can't remember the name of the anime. I do apologise, but there was an anime that had surpassed Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on
Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket.
It's already. So what Jay was going to say is, sorry to interrupt you.
It's fine.
Fruits Basket, the anime, briefly, it was for a couple of days, overtook Full Metal Alchemist as the number 1 anime on my anime list. This is because the final episodes were airing. I want to say it's good. I'm not sure if it's for you, but I will say it's Kate's favourite out of everything that we've seen. She loved this. She loves it so much. The final episode was like an event to Kate, and we watched it together, and it ends well. If I really don't think it is for you. It's more slice of life. There's a bit of like fantasy elements.
I'm trying to get Kira to watch more. I'm trying to get Kira to watch more anime though, and she seems to have a lot of similar tastes to Kate. So...
Okay, well maybe check that out. Maybe I mean, I've watched quite a bit of Slice of Life at this point. Food Wars is really good. Food Wars is one that I think you both really enjoy. It's like a shonen anime, but it's based in a culinary school, like a prestigious culinary school. But it is super over the top at the same time, like, and everything.
Yeah.
But it's really good. And Haikyuu as well, which is the same thing but for volleyball. They're both really good shows. And Kate likes them a lot, so maybe recommend them to Kira.
Now, what I was going to say, though, is from my understanding of it, after Fruits Basket overtook Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it kind of ties into what we were talking about. The fanboys, but her fanboys were like, we're not having that. Went onto my anime list and review bombed Fruits Basket with a bunch of 1 stars. And
is that what happened? I saw that it didn't last for very long. Yeah. It's a good show, man. Fruits Basket. It's a really good show. Did I enjoy it more than Full Metal Alchemist? Probably not. It's been a couple of years since I've seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I think that's got to be on my list. A lot of people rave about that now that I'm interacting more with the community. You mentioned to me before. I think that's definitely on my list. Especially, I like shonen anime. I think that's where I choose this hill to die on.
Full Metal Alchemist is a great anime to jump on board with because it's not too long. It's finished and it's amazing. You know what else? What more could you want, really?
No, that's it. That's it, really, isn't it?
I'm just gonna open my anime list and check that out because
that was my understanding of what happened. Like, I haven't looked into it.
Surprise me.
No. Anime fans like what they like, and they're very fucking outspoken about it, aren't they? So yeah,
they are, mate. We
are. I don't get the whole review bombing culture thing myself. Do you know what I mean? But then again, I will absolutely lose my shit as soon as like Activision moves Toys for Bob onto Call of Duty instead of Crash Bandicoot. So like, I can't be throwing too many stones in glass houses because like I've been there myself. Just because I don't care enough to do it for this particular franchise doesn't mean that I wouldn't for something else. Do you know what I mean? But I generally don't think it's the way to be doing it. But
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was just checking. Fruits Basket seems to have settled at a 4th place, which is still phenomenal.
Yeah, well done.
It's from what I know, it's a super good retelling of the manga. I know it's the 2nd time a series has been attempted, and I know a lot of people love it. So I'm happy it was good. It's one of those happy it was good. I enjoyed it quite a lot, but I didn't enjoy it enough to rate it, 10 out of 10 or anything like that. I'd probably give it a good 7.5, 8 out of 10.
That's above average. We're good with that. I think good ratings for things start about 7 out of 10. If something's rated 7 out of 10, it's probably worth your time and not amazing. And any lower than that, it's kind of like pick it up if you want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, at your own risk.
6.5's like, well, if I have to.
Yeah, 6 is dodgy, but anything from 7 onwards, it's like you're probably going to find some enjoyment.
Yeah, definitely. Did you get a chance to scroll through my? Because I sent it you earlier in the week. Did you get a chance to scroll through my list?
You did. I haven't just yet, mate. I'm so sorry. I've been fucking kind of busy this week. I was out last night drinking tequila. I didn't have any anime on my mind. So yeah. That's bad though, man, because I don't do that very often, and I had the tequila shits today. Which is it's not a good. It's not a good, mate.
It's not a good. It's not. How do I?
God, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Brandishing that anime, that manga. Sorry.
On the sofa because I can't be arsed.
Nah, that's it, man.
I'm gonna try and stick them all back in at the moment.
It's all good, man. I thought you could have done it like a game of operation. Just.
Again, probably not great content. So. Okay, so I think we're done with how is it going?
We are.
So I just want to quickly read out a few of the comments that we've had. Oh my god, I'm so much brighter now. I've pulled up the YouTube page.
Yes. It's because it lightens up your life. Yeah, that's something that we guarantee on this podcast. Subscribe and it'll light up your life and your face.
So 4 days ago we had a comment from Rayman Gaming. That is REI, not Rayman Ubisoft copyright infringement. And he says, awesome, another awesome video, my friend. Really enjoyed this one. Big like from Rayman Gaming channel. Thank you. I have a feeling that might be a bot. Who knows?
No. He's a good lad. He's a good lad.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I can see. Subscribe for 2 months. Appreciate it. So we've got thanks for the visit. Thanks for coming, and big thanks.
Big thanks.
I was going to go with big thanks. Yeah,
Big thanks.
Big thanks. Alec HQ Gaming, I am here to give you a like and full watch time.
Woo! Thank you.
That is what we like to hear.
We do appreciate a full watch time. I like it when people have got us on at work.
Mate,
and
just
got us on
fucking
their
mute
commutes.
us, leave us,
Absolutely.
before you go out to work in the morning. There's a playlist on our channel, Mukkapod episodes. Just play the whole thing, come back, do it all again,
Really, really fucking helps to say. I mean, I take a slightly different stance. I would like you to actually listen to it. but if you don't want to, then just give us the watch time so other people can.
Yeah. So we've got. I'm not sure if this is L. Is it L? Are those lines different? I think it's L. Maybe Eli or something like that. I'm a bit blind. Sorry. Cowboy Bebop, one of my favourite shows. We spoke about it last week.
We did last week about the live action.
Yep, one of my favourite shows. I only like a select few anime, including Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but I'm obsessed with the 90s hand-drawn aesthetic. Yes, I like that. I like that too. And the music is just phenomenal, which is obviously because we commented on them getting
the composer.
The composer
the original
from
composer.
the original. It's very Western in feel, and it doesn't feel like anime. Yeah, I can kind of understand that. So I think it should be easy to adapt to live action due to the narrative and its Western themes. That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would, because they haven't been so successful, have they really? I'm still worried though, as Netflix's track record hasn't been great. I never know if to put an S at the end of Netflix.
Netflix's. Is it like cows or like?
No, it's
like
it's
sheep.
possessive.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not fucking important.
No, it's not. It's like, what the fuck are we talking? What are we doing?
No,
what have we become?
Netflix's track record hasn't been great. My partner did actually watch Death Note a couple of years ago, when for some fucking reason I haven't seen any live action adaptation of anime, and I'm probably going to keep it that way for a while unless this is good.
Allegedly, the live-action version of Attack on Titan is shit. I know it's not Netflix, but apparently that film is fucking
I
awful.
heard that too. Which is a shame, because I looked at some of the screenshots for it, and it does look visually.
The creature designs are great. Visually, it's great, but like the actual content of it, it fucking sucks.
Anyway, to finish this comment, so great that Yoko Kanno is coming back. So even if it's shit, at least we get the great music. That's a nice take.
No, definitely.
And just to add. Sorry, I should have warned. This is a really long comment.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Just to add, I only watch anime dubbed anyway, but I do recommend the English dub of Cowboy Bebop. Excellent voice talent, especially during the time it was released. I do tend to find that some of the older dubs are pretty good. Before everything was, there was a phase where everything was like had a bit of money put into it, and then everything was really cheap, and now stuff started to have money put into it again.
English dubs for animes, just like they all seem to use similar inflections in the way that they speak, and it just
well,
grates on me. I just can't.
That is because it is the same 5 voice actors. The amount of times where I've been sat there watching something, like, I recognise that voice actor.
Yes.
I recognise that voice actor. I recognise that voice actor.
Who's the one? I can't. Seth something. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Like
I don't know.
No, not Seth. It doesn't matter. It's not important.
I met the voice actor for Happy, which is the little fucking blue creature from Fairy Tail at Comic Con once. That was weird.
Is that your claim to fame?
No, I've got another claim to fame that I'll be talking about next week.
Ooh, happy days.
So we've got demo games, great video. I enjoy watching. I'm gonna go with thanks for the visit, because the other two
thanks for the visit
actually make sense.
Yes.
I think we've got a spam comment. I don't know. I'm going to delete this one.
Okay.
Another comment from Alec HQ Game, also saying, give you that super like and full watch time.
He came back twice. God bless you. God bless you. I love it. I love everything about it.
That's that's all for last week's episode that I've got in front of me. The only things coming up is stuff that we haven't responded to on the channel or something like that. Sorry,
Okay.
one last one from Polarity Products, which is
Polarity Products.
one of our longest running subscribers. So thank you. Another great podcast,
Thanks,
guys.
Chief.
I love it when you ramble on and go off topic. Well, this is a fucking podcast for you, mate.
Yay!
Gives it a really genuine feel. You two are just two mates having a chat about things that you're passionate about, and that's fantastic. That's it, man. Thank you very much. I'm going to put thanks so much, or would you rather have
so
glad you
much.
enjoy it? I think thanks is...
Thanks so
glad you
much.
enjoy it's quite egotistical, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah,
You're only human, aren't you? At the end of the day,
Well, thanks so
like,
much. It's
why
like,
wouldn't you?
grateful, and so I'm going to go with
Yeah.
that. The other one is
And
our pleasure.
also, if you could, on my behalf, give him that little heart that you can give him, just that little heart, and I'll get them.
Already done it, mate.
They'll have the Mukkapod logo by him until the end of time. Then, so
There we go. And we done?
brilliant stuff. Thank you, as always, for your comments, guys. It genuinely means, like, I know everybody's got a YouTube channel says, oh, it means the world, but it actually fucking does. Like, I really like that, like, people are actually sitting down and, like, actually consuming this and listening to us. And if you want your comments read out on our next episode, just drop us a line in the comments. Let us know what you thought of this episode. What's your opinion on One Punch Man? Have you seen it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Like, have you got any contrasting
I
opinions?
said, Joe, you
'Cause
get
we-
us that engagement.
I fucking will, mate. I'll do my absolute best.
No, see,
But
Jay says it
I
means the
do
world,
think
but
that-
actually, I'd
go-
rather you didn't subscribe or comment or like, and definitely don't check us out on Twitter. I'd rather you just didn't.
Is that reverse psychology? Yeah, we don't need you. We don't need you. We got Polarity Products. What are you doing?
I keep saying that.
No.
I keep saying that to my daughter recently.
Who am you?
Yeah, so
Oh,
she called
God
me and asked me
almighty.
for something. I just, who are you again? She's being serious because she's 3, you know. So she's. Oh, I don't want to say her name because I think I might have agreed that I wasn't going to or something like that.
No,
but,
yeah,
but she's-
I'm under.
But she says I'm, and then it's her full name afterwards because she thinks I'm being serious. It's like, I'm Jamie Smith.
And then do you go? Oh, do you like playing to? Oh yeah, thank you.
Oh, you again? Yeah.
Who am you? Bless.
Right,
Bless.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Where can they find you,
Parenthood
Joe?
8. That's a podcast 8. Have we finished?
Yeah.
Are we good? Yep. You can find me at Kaiju Groupie 91 on Twitter. You can find me here on the Mukkapod channel. Where can they find you, Jord?
Here. Some other places.
Some other places. Like you gotta look. If you look down below, like through the entire episode,
Honestly,
just
okay.
scrolling along. Yeah.
Why do we bother saying? I went through all the effort of putting this on screen for the people at home, and I don't go through all the effort of putting the audio version up, especially because my subscription ended with Acast. So
Oh fuck them.
so most of this is actually a lie at the moment until I've got enough money to publish us on the other things again. But the parts that aren't a lie are my Twitter and my YouTube and maybe Jay's Twitter. So go check us out.
Yeah, amazing.
Right,
Amazing.
um,
Thank you again to Gary Davis for our theme. And we're going to play you out one final time with the original classic Mukkapod theme.
Come on,
he
Jay.
dedicated his heart. Sorry. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week. My pod is Boston, my pod is pure. I've got a Mukka, his name is Jord. It's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod 8. And we're gonna talk about some characters that ain't even real. And hope someone gives a shit. I keep